started reading up on him, how St. Jude became, and it was
okay.
It was like me, and so his
I
heart
will give it a few minutes.
billions of hearts to say, I want to open a hospital that's going to specialize in.
I will give it a few minutes, and
I'm willing to get to St. So
I'm listening to the scanners and the news too, trying to stay up to date with things going on.
The life-saving research and treatment these kids need.
It's hot
Your
here.
debit or credit card right now, and we'll send you this St. Jude T-shirt that you can proudly wear to show your support. It's amazing experience to be a part of something that's so powerful. And what better way to protect these police officers is to bring in additional support. Mr. President, protect these mayors. Bring in. Can I make one? Let me go to Larry. Because President Trump did not give presidential authority. 2142. Coronavirus. Stay at home. This is going on for a while now. We saw that we can shut off behind his mask. Not sure what's a little bit different, but this thing going on for a lot of hours.
I'm not really going to talk yet. I'm just waiting for people to get here. If the link will actually go out, because I don't know if there's going to be censoring.
Reach out to civil rights leaders of whatever color.
So we will see.
He's a tough guy. Now he's a healer.
Try to give people, since I didn't give a heads up on what time I was going to start.
Reaching out all throughout all of this and encouraging people to get to help leaders in any community, whoever you are, help. Your voices are desperately needed. All right, we have a lot more to get to.
Yes, Lord.
And they will tell us how the president.
The voices are actually needed. Prayer is needed.
We continue to monitor. Sadly, protests all across the country.
Change is needed.
Making your life a bit more effortless.
Is the volume working on this thing? Is the volume working on this thing? I guess so. I guess it's just picking up noise from the TV too, or something. I guess so. I guess it's just picking up noise from the TV too, or something. All right, let me cut this down. I guess so. It's just picking up. All right, just trying to give people time to get here. If they're gonna join in. All right, just trying to give people time to get here. Join in. All right. Give me a second. I gotta find the people that were supposed to join the show and call in. Whoops. Let me try that again. Okay, just trying to give people time to get here. And if not, I really only have one other chance to do it this week before really late night. And I don't think I'm going to do a call-in show really late. So, all right, waiting. I'll give it a few minutes. I'm not going to cover this discussion by myself because I really want input. Hello. I'm just waiting for other people to get here where we can start this discussion. All right, testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. This has been a test of the non-emergency broadcast system. Had there been an actual emergency in your area, you probably wouldn't even know at this point because there's so much chaos. Okay. Man, it's hot. Gracious. All right. Maybe I should have posted this on Facebook too, since that's where I was having all my conversations today. All right. And this would be a good time to do the calls because it's not buffering. Okay, forgive me, I'm not talking yet. I'm trying to wait on people to get here. I guess I should have done a pre-show thing, and I should have linked it on other platforms. I had a lot of people that wanted to talk. Maybe I got started too late for them. I don't know. We will see. All right. I might have to just start running my mouth because I'm getting a little bored here waiting. Guess I could share news broadcasts from all over and scanners going everywhere. But anyway, Jesus taught in parables. And I think that if people share their stories, where others can relate to it, that's what Jesus did. He shared stories that any individual could put themselves in, and then they realized what he was saying. And I think it was the most beautiful, effective way to get the point across, the lesson across. And sometimes people can't recognize the pain in another one's eyes if they haven't lived it. If they haven't been around it, they haven't lived it. Most people project from their own experiences and their own thought process. And thought processes can be environmentally influenced on how you grew up. If you grew up, and everything was good around you and you didn't see some of the tragedies that the rest of us have witnessed, then you don't have that perspective. You only have the perspective perhaps that the media has put out and the people in your social circle. And typically people in your social circle all kind of have the same things going on in life. So you're basing your thoughts on the experience of you and the same people in your circle in life. When if you haven't walked in someone else's shoes, sometimes it's really hard to understand it. And this is why I think we need to have an open dialogue. And there's people out there with, good hearts, good intentions, but they're not hearing the message that ultimately needs to come out for all the chaos that's going on. And the more protesters that hit the streets, in other words, the people that are up to no good, the ones trying to do evil and trying to cause a race war and all of that, and the criminals that are just opportunists are feeding all, or they are using the people that are trying to do a peaceful protest. They're using them as a body shield. They're using the sheer numbers to go out and commit their crimes. And I'm not talking about any one of any individual race, because everyone, first of all, is one race, the human race. Okay, let's say skin tones therein. There are multiple organizations, evil organizations, that are doing dirt out there, and they are using the peaceful protesters as shields, because they know the police cannot monitor all of that when they've got those numbers of human bodies out there. So there's got to be another way to do this than the large gatherings, like it's being done now, because the evil people are using that. They're using the innocent, peaceful protesters that are really trying to get the message out. They're using them so that they can commit their crimes. And I don't know why people can't see this. So this is making it worse at this point. The message isn't getting out now. The only message getting out is all the crime that's going on right now. That's the message that's getting out. And then the country is going to shambles. We're already, people are struggling trying to get back to work from COVID. And now with all the curfews, people can't go to work. And yes, people's lives are bigger than all of this. But what I'm saying is the bad elements, the criminal elements, are using the large numbers of peaceful protesters to do their dirt. So this is taken away from the change that we all want to see come out of this. This is the country is going to end up in martial law, the whole country. And I'm not going to keep talking if people don't get in here. Did I not send him the link? Anyway, I guess I need to schedule it and let people know in advance what time the show will be. And but every time I try to set it up on that in that thing to do it, it doesn't work properly. Like if I set up a link, to pre-program it, and then when I try to go live, I end up having to create a new link to go live. So the link that I created initially doesn't work. So I don't know. I'll give it another minute or two, and then I will go back to my research because in the middle of all this, I've got a lot going on in my personal life that I'm trying to straighten out. Okay, let me go back to the scanner, see what I'm missing. Oh, maybe nobody wants to talk about this. Maybe they just want to talk about aliens and conspiracies. Oh, yeah. So someone sent me a link. And of course, I didn't even bother going to that channel because it was that said George Floyd wasn't really killed and he was still alive and it was all faked. I'm so tired of hearing stupid, idiotic things like that. So, anyway, I don't want to do. There are some conspiracies in what's going on right now. Yes, absolutely. But the death was real, just like the mass shooting in Virginia Beach last year. You know, right here where I live and work, it was real. But of course, you had hundreds of different social media, supposedly alternative news. Yeah, they're alternative news, all right. They're faker than the fake news. And so they said the mass shooting wasn't real, and that those were crisis actors, and the little girl with tears was a crisis actor, and they've seen her before, and then they've been in the building, and they've got friends here that were in the building, and the building is armed with police officers at the front desk and yada yada, which is bull. No police officers worked in that building at all. There was no security in that building. The security was you swiped your card to get in. That was the security. You had to have a card to get in. It was employees only. It wasn't a place for everyone else to go in. And it was an employee that did the mass shooting. He swiped his card and he went in. There were no metal detectors. There were no armed police officers. But you had these people putting up videos and pictures and saying, this is the inside of the building. And this is and all that was faked. The whole thing was fake. But people believe it because they saw pictures and they saw videos of something. But it wasn't our building in Virginia Beach that they were showing them. So, like, they'll show the outside of the building, which might be real in some of the incidences. But then when it goes to the inside thing, see, they don't show you, they don't videotape it live where they're walking, where they're in front of it and walking in, you know. So, there's so many ways to fake stuff. It isn't funny, but some people are you know, the difference in I don't even want to talk about that. That's not what I want to talk about. So, anyway, I'm just talking, killing time before I give up on trying to do this important show. Okay. Let's see. New York must be having a hard time tonight. They got almost 20,000 people listening. That's in New York City. And even Erie County, Cook County, Scott County, Iowa, Philadelphia, Suffolk County, Massachusetts, Philadelphia County, Suffolk County, New York, Cook County, Illinois, Providence County, Rhode Island, Kenosha County, Wisconsin, another one, Tinley Park and Orland Park, multiple counties in Illinois. Wow. Um, Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, Providence County, Rhode Island, Saline County, Arkansas, Dutchess County, New York, Seattle, King County, Washington, Valjo Police, Salina, County, California, Solano, however it's pronounced. Hi, Dominic. Yes, I think God is gonna. Well, Jesus said He was shorting the days, lest no flesh be left, and I think we're so close to that between the plagues and all the hate in the world. Right now, Satan is winning. Satan wants to divide and conquer. This is so ugly. So yes, I agree with you. The number is on the screen if you want to call in. So I was just trying to give people time to get here because I didn't announce it, what time I was going to do the show, nor did I send out links. So I got started later than I wanted to because I had some other stuff going on. But I was waiting on Wayne, the voice, and some others. He might be busy right now. And then one of my nephews that's a preacher and a football coach. He used to play for North Carolina. And he was sharing stories the other day about when he was young. And how he was harassed by the police, and he was always has been since the time he was born. His daddy's a preacher too, and they are very strong Christians. And anyway, they got harassed. His story isn't as bad as others, but the stories are real, and I want people to share them so other people can maybe see through their eyes once, their perspective, because some of the ignorance to what's going on is innocent in nature. These people haven't had these experiences, and they've never put a lot of thought to it. They think the world, they think it's equal. Because so people usually project. If you're a good person and you're trustworthy, then you think most people are good and trustworthy. So if you're not a racist, you assume most people aren't racist because you're projecting from who you are. And that's what most of us do naturally. A person that isn't trustworthy doesn't trust anyone. And and that's because they know that people shouldn't be able to trust them. So they don't trust. So Jesus did it well. He taught in parables. So anyone could relate to the story. They could put themselves in the story. So anyway, the line is open. Oh, yes. It's going to take love and prayer to fix this mess. Okay, so I guess I'll go back to reading all the places that have a lot going on tonight again. Milwaukee County, Wisconsin. DuPage County, Illinois. Multiple counties in Massachusetts, Boston area. Chicago Police Zone 4, Districts 1 through 18. Portland and South Portland. Cumberland County, Maine. Pennington County, South Dakota. Multiple counties in Ohio. Columbus Police Citywide. Broome County, New York. Lynchburg, Virginia. Davenport, which is in Scott County, Ohio. Cheek, Tawaga, Erie County, New York. Clinton County, Iowa. Louisville, Metro Police, Jefferson County, Kentucky. Northeast Will and Southeast DuPage counties. Multiple police in multiple counties in Illinois. Lake County region, Lake County, Indiana. Houston Police Department, all districts. Harris County, Texas. There was a stabbing at a George Floyd protest in downtown. Brown County, Wisconsin, Prince William County in Virginia. Wow, that's a small county. Anyway, New York PD, Bronx, 43rd and 45th. Albany City, and Colony, Albany County, New York. These are just the places right now that have a lot going on. All right, I don't think I'm gonna keep talking. If I'm not gonna get any participation.
Order is good till 10. Check one copy, thank you. 2217.
And this is going on around the world now, these protests. And just think of the terrorists that could take advantage, the outside terrorists that could take advantage of this country right now with all this going on. Police so busy with this that they don't see them putting their chemical weapons and bombs together to do damage and get in the middle of one of these crowds and hurt all these people. So, I mean, you know, having to use the National Guard and the military. Oh wow! In Portland, Oregon, they have covered the whole bridge. Everybody's laying down on the bridge. At least there's no violence there. I mean, they're all. I hope that's not a one-way thing, and an ambulance has to get through there to help someone. I hope there's not like access to parts that you could only get to that way. I don't know. I don't know anything about that bridge. So, and hey, discernment, how are you, sweetheart? It's a little slow getting the show going tonight. I guess I should, you know, I can't pre-schedule it and then it's and then try to go live on the same pre-schedule because it ends up making me change links. So I had a lot of people that were supposed to call in tonight. As I called in on my friend's, he does Facebook live shows. He does usually covers topics about youth sports because they no riots there really. Well, that's good. Because they're happening all over still tonight, all over the country, in other countries too. They're rioting around the U.S. embassies. We're on curfew again tonight. Well, I don't know about that because some of these cities I've been looking at ain't liberal. As far as the majority isn't liberal.
4210.
Do you think Portland, Oregon is a liberal city? Well, yeah, if anyone enters your home, I can understand that. Of course, I would probably try to tell them, no weapon formed against me in the name of Jesus, like that preacher did that time, and none of the bullets, 6 shots fired 2 feet from him, and every bullet missed him. And all he did was hold up his Bible. It was during a church service. He held up his Bible and said, no weapon formed against me. So there again, that's another topic, how we don't. Jesus taught us what to do. Well, I have to disagree with you on that, because I have a whole list of places right now on my police listings that have riots going on, and they're not liberal. But even if they are, okay, so you're saying that the only people, okay, you talking about protest or rioting? Rabbi Glick got shot 5 times. Oh, this preacher didn't even, not one bullet hit him. Yeah, this world is definitely, but we have a commission to spread the word of God's love, and the possibility for redemption while we're here. And so this and the COVID virus and everything else going on, and putting the blame on other countries even for the COVID virus, and the great perplexity among nations and brother against brother, and all, the plagues and everything else going on, we see scripture playing out so verbatim. By next year, forgive me, we may be in it before then. Forgive me, I've had a rough week with my allergies, my asthma acting up really bad. Even with my 2 inhalers. And it's so hot in here right now. It was 200 million people in 1929, and now it's 330 million people. Was it 200 million people in 1929? I didn't think it was that many then in the United States. I haven't researched it, but I just didn't think it was that big in 29. I thought it was that number in the 50s.
Bravo.
So we're under curfew here again tonight.
327 Bravo. Correction. 27 Charlie. Also initiated on two black individuals in Space 9 Middle School. 2026.
And we had people mad earlier today because the police enforced the curfew last night, because the night before, when they didn't, it got really ugly, of course. And so they were mad last night. And I'm like, look, don't you understand that you may be out there doing a peaceful protest, right? There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people trying to do a peaceful protest. The problem is the criminal element and all the people with evil ulterior motives are using the peaceful protesters as body shields, meaning they're using the sheer numbers. By that many people being out, they know the police cannot control the crowd, and they can't be in every place at one moment, as they're trying to keep an eye on thousands of people out in the streets. They're not out there because of the peaceful protesters. They're out there because of the evil people that are taking advantage of this. Oh yeah, definitely will be martial law. The whole United States. So there goes people getting back to work. It's so right. Well, so they tried to be lax the first night that they started the curfew here, and it got really ugly, and just like it is, across America, you have the good people trying to do a peaceful protest, and then you have those that seek to incite, vandalize, steal, and aggravate the situation. And I mean, I saw a video where the protesters was protecting an officer that got separated from the rest of the officers. So he's there alone in a crowd of protesters. So the peaceful protesters surrounded him to protect him from being attacked by the bad element. Right, I agree with that. Right, the curfew is out. They need to abide by it. The curfew's out for a reason, and it's not just so they can control people and make rules and laws just because they can. It because once it gets dark, I mean, some of it's happening during the day, but once it gets dark, it's harder to monitor things and control things, and it's getting way out of hand. Innocent people are getting hurt. So yes. So they had to bring the police in from Norfolk. Well, actually, they just showed up. Norfolk police heard what was going on in Virginia Beach and just showed up the other night. This is the night they didn't enforce the curfew in time. And so the Norfolk police showed up, and the Chesapeake police showed up, the state police showed up to help the Virginia Beach police. And, you know, the same thing is going on everywhere. Breaking in people's houses and cars, workers hiding at the hotel resort because now the people done broke into the lobby of the hotel, so all the employees are in hiding, scared to death. And the police are telling the dispatcher to tell those people, we cannot get to them. We cannot get through the crowd. And then another lady, they shot at the door of the hotel room she was staying in, because this is a tourist town. And this is summertime on the beach. So she's in a hotel and they start shooting. And so bullets come through her door and she's in there terrified and the police can't get to her. And then some police were injured and the police told the dispatcher to tell those officers, we can't get to them either. We cannot get through the crowd. And there were so many things, so many violent things going on at once, they couldn't get to them all at once. 19,000 new cases in LA alone? No, I didn't hear that. Not 1,900, 19,000? Good gracious. Wow. I mean, the numbers I looked at today, they're up in a lot of places. I didn't see that number for California, though. But, you know, I feel like the numbers are not going to be, I think the numbers are going to be lowballed because everybody wants to open the economy back up. So I think the numbers won't be reported accurately based on that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, at least some of them are wearing masks, but not everybody. And where I live, we have millions. So there's 8.5 million people that live in the state, but there's millions and millions of people that come here as tourists from all over. So I look for it to really jump here. Of course, they have only tested 300,000 people out of the 8.5 million people that live here, and not including the millions that come here. But the numbers here are going to, you know, jump drastically, and then all of a sudden there's going to be. Anyway, I don't think they'll report the numbers of infections accurately, but there'll be a lot of deaths, and they'll be probably blamed on other things. Because the people have decided they want the economy open. And I get it. I mean, it takes money to survive. I think we're in those days that Jesus told us to look for. I've been believing that for 3.5 years, and everything keeps happening to the point that we're closer and closer to it. Right, exactly. Exactly, discernment. And can you imagine how tired the cops must be getting, because they're having to work double shifts and there's no day that, you know, because there's not enough manpower, good manpower. Um, and it's sad because 85, 90% of cops are good people. It's that, that minority of bad cops that make it hard on all of them too. So it shouldn't be FTP. It should be FTP the bad, or FTBP. So, the bad ones, not the whole shebang of police officers. They risk their lives daily to serve and protect. And yeah, like I said, there's bad ones out there, and there needs to be change on if they commit a criminal act, they need to be charged like everybody else, not favored. He better not. Yeah, maybe he was and maybe he wasn't. You know, can you got to know that if you have a corrupt department, and even if someone weren't corrupt, they might try to report it, trying to not increase the. It doesn't matter. There's people that are high on. And I don't agree with being high on meth or anything else, but no, not the autopsy I heard. I heard it live while it was going on. I didn't hear some edited version from somebody, and that's not the autopsy I heard. The second autopsy. Anyway, people are high on meth and other drugs every day. People have high blood pressure like me. Um, that's not gonna kill me. He had his entire body weight on that man's neck and his hands in his pocket. That man was not fighting. The police officer's hands was in his pocket. Well, I watched the people that performed the second autopsy. I watched them live explaining their results. I don't think it could bring reasonable doubt. It's just like we were talking about before. Okay, I have heart disease. I have kidney failure. I have asthma. If I get COVID, I could live another 20 years with what I have. If I get COVID and die because my body couldn't fight it because of my pre-existing conditions, doesn't mean my pre-existing conditions killed me. COVID killed me. If I hadn't caught COVID, I wouldn't have died. If that cop hadn't had his whole body weight on that man's neck for 9 minutes, that man wouldn't have died. And that's got to be clearly evident to anybody judging the case. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But I don't think that's going to be allowed to happen now. Rodney King was in 92. And there's been so many. And, and white people get killed by the cops too. Yes. Um, like I said, a bad cop is a bad cop. And if he's bad towards everybody. Now, if you have a racist cop, then he's good to everybody except the race that he doesn't like. Usually. But a bad cop's a bad cop. Usually a bad cop will treat everybody bad. I got treated bad by cops. because they were bad cops. You know, but I have a lot of friends that are cops, and I had one that I was in a long-term relationship with years ago, and I know there's a lot of good cops. That doesn't mean anything. George should have went to jail for that. Or maybe the brothers of the woman should have beat him up. They didn't give a cop the right to kill him. I guarantee you that cop didn't even know that when he was on his neck. So no matter what bad they come out with and say, oh, George did this in his past and he did that in his past, doesn't nullify his murder. Well, my sister got arrested one time for fighting with her boyfriend at the time. And it was because that particular cop was a jerk. And he obviously didn't like women. And he took the guy's side. So if my sister got killed by a cop now, would they say, well, she beat up men? No, she was arrested for something that she didn't actually do. Yeah, maybe they did and maybe they didn't. You know, we're gonna hear a lot of things about this that may and may not be true. But the cop looked really arrogant. That look on his face while he nonchalantly choked the life out of this man with his full body weight on him and his hands in his pockets. Nothing justifies murder.
Century's still not on scene. According to our mapping,
of course it is, but do you know who's also feeding this?
Further down the street. I don't know if you're aware of that or not.
Do you know what groups are feeding this?
We'll throw the overhead saw.
You should see the videos taken here just from Virginia Beach that people were out there shooting live on their Facebook pages. Protesting is fine. Rioting is not. But so they videotaped, and this is going on all around the country. Not just what the media is showing, but people actually out there with their cameras videotaping live feeds of certain Who is they that have destroyed so many lives? The rioters. The bad element. But they're of all skin tones. Even the melon challenged ones are doing stuff so that it can be blamed. So it can be blamed on the black protesters.
5898940. North Carolina. 9246.
Yeah, true. But people have insurance on their businesses, so they'll get their money. But then insurance will go up around the country for everybody, because as insurance companies have to pay out, then they increase everybody's rates. Like they'll increase my car insurance, not now because my car doesn't run, so I don't even have tags on it right now. So, but anyway, when I had insurance and it jumped double one year, I'm like, why did my insurance double when I have a perfect driving record and my insurance is supposed to go down every year? And they said it's based on insurance companies paying out for other things throughout the United States. It's not just based on your needs for insurance and your good standards with the insurance company. But when they start paying out heavy for disasters and crimes, so it's definitely a ripple effect. Well, yeah, scripture tells us it will be brother against brother and nation against nation, great perplexity, great deceit, plagues. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It is it's out of control at this point, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I see this growing as more people behind the scenes incite things which you have going on. And it's unfortunate because people have wanted a race war for a long time. And for all we know, this police officer might belong to some supremacist group, and they may have paid him to even do this, to get this started. We don't know. We don't know what was on his mind. He just looked too nonchalant while he was killing that man. And you see him readjust his knee to keep pressure on him.
Dispatch 126 Bravo routine check.
For no reason. The man wasn't moving. The man was handcuffed, and there was 4 cops there, and he wasn't resisting. All he was saying is, I can't breathe. He kept trying to move his neck and his shoulder so he could take some of the pressure off of his chest so he could breathe.
123.
Yeah, I know. I don't see how the country's going to recover from the economic devastation and 108,000 deaths from COVID already.
1660. At this time, everything's 10-4.
And we'll be looking at 122 deaths within a week.
Same as my spots behind the BP station, Rion,
and then give it 2 weeks after that, we'll probably be up to 400,000 people. Because this is going to spread like wildfire now.
Was heard having a seizure and then the line disconnected. Dispatch unit to respond.
And you know what? The one of the things with this. Yes, right. They had their knees on his back. Right, exactly. So anyway, the
white male.
the big picture that nobody's looking at in this. So if you're another country that wants to wreak havoc on the United States, this is the perfect opportunity, because the police, the FBI, intelligence, our National Guard, even our bases are on guard to protect the bases and what's going on around the country. Everything's focused on that terrorists can easily now put their little plots together for some chemical warfare or whatever. You know, they've got stuff in place. All they got to do is put it together and go in these crowds of thousands of people joining a protest, and where you have 200-300 cops and the National Guard out there, all in one tight little area, and set off whatever they want and kill those people instantly. So they can do that in every place that's holding these large events, these protests, and do that. This is ludicrous. This whole country is in danger, not just from within, but from our enemies outside. Yeah, I don't even want to comment on Trump. I really don't. Some of the things he has said, good gracious.
Yeah, we're good. I just making sure we at least have one additional unit. 10-4, 22 Charles around to you. Ten-4. 2253.
You know what? Some people just want to be. Some people joining in this thing right now just want to be angry about something and want to. I guess being cooped up for 2 months because of COVID, coming right off of that. This is man. It's just getting crazy. And it's going to continue.
10-4, right 18, right 4, you can disregard. Hello, tonight. Right 4, copy, disregard. 10-4, lieutenant. 22-4.
Let me see. You told people not to trust, right? After their Operation Warp Speed. Yeah.
22 to 40, we at behind the BP station, and we just had another vehicle come up behind us, a silver car, but they're backing out.
Well, you know, Scripture says evil will be called good and good will be called evil.
That's by 3. By 3. We received several other calls. Do you need any more units there?
Let me see what else is going on.
I'm sorry, by 3. Do you need? Sorry, keep that.
Middlesex County, Massachusetts, active fire. Atlantic County, New Jersey, structure fire. Sacramento County, California. Nearly 800 protesters walking around California Capitol. Chicago. dollar store and some other stores on fire in Cook County. Some big fire in Forest Fire, New Jersey, I guess. Seattle. Police and National Guard monitoring multiple protest groups in downtown Seattle. Protesters attempting to access I-5, Interstate 5. Police working to deny access with rolling roadblocks. Sacramento area. Oh, I already said that one. Portland and South Portland. Large group protesting at Portland Police Headquarters. Hundreds defying curfew, walking up 12th Street, downtown Sacramento. Something going on in Jefferson County, Colorado. Large demonstration turning into riot at Franklin Park in Dorchester, Boston. Police and National Guard. Armed road rage incident. King County, Washington. A 1,000 protesters throwing bottles at police cruisers. Emergency needed additional cruisers. Suffolk County, Massachusetts. Protest marches started in Clinton County, Iowa. Starting to get out of control. Curfew in Pitt County, North Carolina because of protest. Yeah, well, they're already doing that discernment. It was happening here, and it's been happening. It's already happening. But it's going to start happening on a much larger scale, yes. Extremely large, orderly demonstration currently at Larrabee and Division Street in Cook County, Illinois. But that was orderly demonstration, but that was a couple of hours ago, so that's probably a different story now if they're still there. Large protest crowd in the thousands. Air unit all on scene, closing down 408. Multiple plainclothes officers mixed in the crowd, providing intelligence in Orange County, Florida. Tinley Park and Oakland Park. Multiple counties in Illinois. Jefferson County, Kentucky. Monroe and Brown counties in Indiana. Cook County, Illinois. Douglas County, Nebraska. Lorain County, Ohio. Union County, Tennessee. Chester County, Pennsylvania. Douglas County, Nebraska. Imperial County, California. Howard County, Indiana. Contra Costa County, California. Salina County, California. Los Angeles County, of course. California. There was something going on in Nevada I saw on the news, and that's where Raven lives. Raven in the desert. Cotinia, Kootenai County, Idaho. I don't know how to pronounce that. Idaho. I don't know how you pronounce the name of that. Haywood County, North Carolina. Bannock County, Idaho. Scott County, Iowa. Chattanooga County, New York. Jefferson County, Kentucky. I already said that one. Anyway, that's just some of them. Houston tried to get rowdy. Well, good. So right now there's 21,000 people listening to the New York scanner. Scott County, Iowa still got a lot going on. Cook County, Illinois still got a lot going on. Buffalo, New York, Erie County, New York, it's got a lot going on. Providence County, Rhode Island, it's got a lot going on. Peoria County, Illinois. Macon County, Illinois. Saline County, Arkansas. Suffolk County, New York. Sedgwick County, Kansas. Suffolk County, Massachusetts. Kenosha County, Wisconsin. However it's pronounced. Providence County, Rhode Island. Ramsey County, Minnesota.
Dispatch 441 Charlie.
Cuyahoga County, Ohio. Bernalillo County, New Mexico. I probably pronounced that wrong too. Pennington County, South Dakota. Clinton County, Iowa. Milwaukee County, Wisconsin. Jefferson County, Kentucky. DuPage County, Illinois. Hillsborough County, Florida. McLean County, Illinois, or McLean County, Illinois. Erie County, New York. Dutchess County, New York. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Harrison County, Texas, or Harris County, Texas, rather. Dare County, Wisconsin. Prince William County, Virginia. Not a liberal area at all, trust me. Lynchburg, Virginia, not a liberal area. San Antonio and Bexar County, Texas. Lake County, Indiana. So those are the places right now that are listed. It's probably going on in other areas too, but they're not listed up here. Well, I guess since I can't get any participation tonight, and I didn't let people know ahead of time what time I was going to do a show, I think I will close this out and maybe try tomorrow.
21 Charlie,
But that probably will be it for the week. because I wouldn't be able to start till late night, and I can't do a 3, 4, 5 hour call-in late night show. So I put the opportunity out there for people to be able to call in and voice their views and concerns and thoughts, and maybe offer some solutions, and maybe get a group prayer going. So I'm not going to sit here
South again, Virginia, Victor, Victor, 5510, Volkswagen 4. Towards your system. 422 Charleston, 22. TQ from 1 out of Chesapeake. Central West. Alpha 62, 152013. Last name, Burnham. Date of birth, 10/1/88. Stand by. Just for the car, Charlie, dispatch traffic. 225 Charlie. Three traffic, 1600 block the Boulevard, traffic. Virginia tag, Victor November, Romeo 2339, a white Lexus SUV.
oh boy, oh boy. Transport 7, dispatch.
Transport 7. Transport Center, 10-7
Anyway, I'm going to close this out. May God bless everyone with discerning abilities.